Hey everyone, and thanks for watching my video. It's exciting that this is our last post, major post anyways. So I'm going to get right to my case. My case has to do with Samantha Bowers, and she's 24-year-old female that escaped from her husband Christopher Bowers last night. She arrived at the Bitterroot Valley Crisis Center located at SAFE at 1800 hours, and with her is her daughter Amanda, who's 2, and she's currently 6.5 months pregnant with Christopher's child. Samantha states that she has lived in fear for the last 5 years, and she started to date Christopher when she was 18 and a senior in high school. Amanda states that Christopher is very nice at the beginning of their relationship, but that about 11 months, Christopher started complaining about her friends and kept telling her that he wanted alone time with her. Amanda states that Christopher would tell her that she was beautiful and his property. Amanda thought that it was cute at first, but found out shortly after that it was anything but cute. Amanda stated that at 11 months into their relationship, Christopher saw her talking to one of her childhood friends, and he walked up and punched her friend in the face and said, "See what you made me do." After that, Amanda was afraid to talk to any of her other friends and stopped returning phone calls. At their 1-year anniversary, Amanda did not feel good, but they went out to eat, and then they went to a hotel. In the hotel, Christopher started kissing Amanda, and she told him that she didn't feel well. Christopher pushed her onto the bed and forced her to have sex with him. Amanda stated that we had had sex before, but I'd never cried like I did after that night. The next day, Christopher said how he spent all of his money and was drunk, and he did not know what he was doing. About 7 months after that night, after the night in the hotel, Christopher had friends over at the house for poker. Amanda had been vomiting all day and wanted to stay in bed, but Christopher demanded that she got up and took care of his friends by making food and drinks and such. Amanda then went into the bathroom and started getting sick, and Christopher came into the bathroom and hit her. Amanda states that she was embarrassed that her eyes were red, and then when she walked out of the bathroom. When one of Christopher's friends saw her eye, he called the police officers, and Amanda stated that was the first time that Christopher had been arrested, and that he had been arrested 7 more times after that night. Amanda found out that she was pregnant about 3 months ago, but she did not want another child with Christopher. She didn't want to have another child be watching how Christopher treated her. Their house is full of holes in the wall and such. Christopher was going fishing with friends, and Amanda thought that would be a good time to leave. So when she got home from work, she started packing up all of her stuff and into the car. When Christopher showed up, he pinned her to the ground and started hitting her. A neighbor called the police officers, and he was arrested. And when he was arrested, Christopher yelled out that he was going to kill her. Amanda then came to the crisis shelter. So that was the background, and so now we're going to go through phase 1 of the plan change process, which is engagement. I feel that the strengths perspective would be good because it would focus on Amanda's strengths to identify the resources, support, and coping mechanisms, mechanisms that she already had, engaging with her and encouraging her that she is already strong and is a good role model for her daughter. In-person environment perspectives would be good because it would focus on how Amanda interacted with her social environment, Amanda had lived with an abuser for 6 years, and a social worker may want to consider mutual interactions with her social environment. The engagement process is important because with that foundation, you can then do the assessment, the intervention, and the evaluation. This is the part where you form a working relationship with your client. Following skills used would be open-ended questions, rapport building, and always being an active listener. Then we would go into phase 2 of the plan change process, which is assessment. Behavior theory would be used because Amanda was conditioned to think that it was her fault. Conflict theory, Amanda was conditioned by Christopher who would use intimidation to abuse her in many ways. Amanda knows that she would not have stayed, but Christopher was over her, had a stronghold over her. Cycle of change theory. Amanda is in an action stage where she knows that she needs to find a safe place for her and her daughter and her unborn child. The feminist theory. Amanda lives in an environment where she was told what to do and in a society where it's hard for women to obtain services and justice. Strengths. Amanda is a survivor of domestic and sexual violence, and she loves her child, who is 2, and her unborn child. The problems are that Amanda does not have a job to be able to support her or her children, and she has a husband who is abusive. Assessment data collected to be used would be a lethality assessment screen, and by using this, Amanda would know if it was city court or justice court. That way she would know when he would be getting out of jail again, and that way you could work with Amanda and create a safety plan to keep her and her children safe. Phase 3 of the plan change process would be intervention. You'd use an empowerment model where you would focus on empowering Amanda to make decisions for her daughter, and unborn child. And the holistic model would be used so that not only Amanda would receive help, but also her 2-year-old daughter, who also witnessed all of the abuse that was taking place. Mutual aid model, because it would be good for Amanda to be able to see and hear other people who went through similar experiences, and her to help that she is not alone. The first goal of the treatment plan would be to achieve independence. To file out SNAP paperwork, and TANF to fill out paperwork for transitional housing, to ask for a police escort if she wanted to retrieve anything that Amanda was, that she had left behind, or and also to submit some resumes so that she could obtain a job if through all this she lost her current job. To fill out Section 8 paperwork. She would need a treatment plan of number 2. Her goal would be emotional support, starting to go to weekly support group, individual counseling for her and her daughter, rebuilding bonds with her friends and family. Goal 3 would be achieving safety for her and her daughter. So to help file a temporary order of protection in court, and then to develop a safety plan. Phase 4 of the plan change process is evaluation. And that's the termination process. Well, termination would start after Amanda would spend time in the shelter and her 24 months in transitional housing. After that, though, Amanda could come to our program at any time if she needed help with court cases or emotional support, because there's no length of time that people can use our services, and Amanda would always be welcome. Evaluations tool would be to achieve goals. Level of achievements can be measured by evaluating the original goals and feedback from Amanda. And client self-report would be Amanda can describe her process. I can't wait to see you guys all next Saturday, and I hope you guys all have a great week.